Everyone, welcome to this Honors Mentorship Capstone presentation, and my name is Arsh Patel, and I'm a senior at Forsyth High School. So, to speak a little bit about my internship, I intern at MyGenomics, which is one of the leading genetic testing centers here in Georgia, and also in the Southeast, where we mainly focus on finding finding specific genes in DNA that might be mutated for specific cancers or other genetic diseases. So here's my mentor, Dr. Shoaib Ahmad. He's been working for approximately 15 years in genetics, and for about 12 of those years he's been working at Emory University working on cancer research, and now he's moved on to a private firm where he runs a genetic testing business. And currently I'm a senior intern now, where I help work in the lab a lot more and help train the new interns that we have coming in. So now the essential question is, how can genetic testing, genetic engineering be implemented in society in order to improve its standard of living? So, this question was, I chose this question because with with the world being more globalized, genetic testing has started to become more generalized and more accessible to many people now. So we see that genetic testing could also be used to catch specific diseases before symptoms may actually arise, such as certain types of cancer, so they may be treated before there's actually before you have the full effect. So it helps improve the standard of living of the community, and also there's new medical conditions that are being discovered through genetic testing, because a single mutation can cause a normal human to go into almost a fatal genetic disease that may be uncurable. So the project that I did with research was, I decided to make a proposal of the effects of what an implementation of genetic testing in society would be. So I looked at the economic sides, the ethics sides, the logistics sides, and also the education side. And so the research that I did was, I conducted research at my internship about the successfulness of genetic testing, and then I also conducted interviews with my mentor and also other people of the society to see other concerns that they may have of greater genetic testing in society. And then I also conducted a survey just to see what the outlook was in the public right now, and also I used some of my internship experience and also my research experience that I had previously. And then through this research, I've developed a proposal. So the first stage that we're going to look at is the educational program that we would create. So when researching this, I researched with a purpose, so there would be less time, more time focused on the specific side of research. So I mainly looked at academic and medical journals that were focused on genetics and the effects of genetic testing. So through the research journey, I used Galileo, Google Scholar, many scientific journals and magazines, as well as different scientific and academic literature published by different professors around the country who have started looking into genetic testing and its effects on society. So genetic testing has its benefits. For example, in prothrombin G202108, it is a genetic disease that triples your likelihood of forming blood clots, which can lead to strokes and even heart attacks. So with genetic testing, we can find the specific mutation in your genome, and then help create through genetic counseling, create a medicine plan for you to prevent blood clots from occurring if we know that there's a mutation in this gene. The other one is apoprotein E. It helps with the catabolization of triglyceride-rich lipoprotein constituents. So with this, if this gene is particularly mutated, then it'll lead to an increase in Alzheimer's disease. So with this mutation, we can also look at the current research that's going on with CRISPR-Cas9 to genetically edit the genome and help prevent this mutation from occurring. And the last one is a metabiome. So the metabiome consists of all the different organisms that you have that are living on or in your body, and through that we can see that the disruption of the metabiome, which can be genetic, will cause many diseases to occur. So through this we can help set up genetic counseling appointments to see the effects of genetic conditions on metabiomes. So the final proposal that I had was, so the first thing was the education program. So the education program was to teach more of the public about genetic testing, the different types of genetic testing, such as Sanger sequencing or full genome sequencing, and its benefits that it has, such as we saw with the polyprotein and the metabiome, and to also raise awareness of these genetic diseases that people never actually notice because it's only a single mutation, but it can cause many different diseases that can be fatal in some cases. So this will allow for the public to be a bit more educated on genetic testing and also be more informed about why genetic testing has evolved into society. So economic side, so with genetic testing, insurance companies will be able to cover genetic testing, because currently only a few insurance companies cover genetic testing, but as genetic testing becomes more globalized and more efficient, insurance companies can use genetic testing to help lower premium plans because they won't have to worry about overhead unseen diseases that may occur, being beneficial to the plan subscriber. So it can also help the economy that way. Also, the increase in genetic testing will help pool money back into the genetic testing field and also make it more efficient in the long run. So the ethics, so the main ethics dealt with this was the security of your genome after it's been sequenced, because your genome tells pretty much everything about your life and your body. So we have decided to start looking into different regulations to be developed through congressional oversight committees over a specific bureaucratic agency that controls genetic testing in the United States. So for them to develop regulations to help genetic testing be more efficient and more secure. And then for logistics, it was pretty much the improvement in the collection of shipment of DNA, as currently DNA has to be refined a lot more because due to shipping concerns, DNA can sometimes be denatured when it already arrives. So it has to be kept at a really cold temperature. So the process starts after it reaches the laboratory, while new technology is saying that while it's in transport, the cells will start to lyse, and the DNA will start already be out in the fluid, so it's easier to extract the DNA from. And also, with the increase in genetic testing, there will be more genetic testing facilities, allowing for a greater choice for people, for genetic providers, and also genetic counseling. And also, there would be a greater number of research conducted to make the process more efficient, because currently genetic testing takes about 10 days from either saliva or blood sample to a full genome sequence. So after this, I've approximated that it could almost be done in about 5 days if there's enough research and research implemented back into the sequencing, as that is the longest stage that we have. And in conclusion, so I've conducted most of my research, as I stated earlier, through literature research, surveys, interviews, and through this proposal, I've addressed some of those concerns that have been raised about genetic testing and its benefits that also occur from genetic testing. And in order with if all these proposals end up working out, then there would be an increase in standard of living as the health of the community would start to increase. And that's it. So